Well, good afternoon. Got the street bob here, and it's time to put the handlebars on. Got these right here. These are Todd's Cycles, 12-inch. Not a really tall handlebar. It does not have any pullback, but I like the angle of the grip, where the grip is going to be. They're not straight. These are a little bit straighter than this, so hopefully it'll bring the handlebars a little bit closer to me instead of angling it right here on this area. Putting them on, it's very simple. You loosen up, I believe, this screw here. This one, raise the tank up so you can have access to the wiring down here. Disconnect them. A couple people say that we don't have to worry with a 12-inch with the length of the clutch cable or the brake line. However, I did buy this right here. These are the Harley Davidson cable extenders, and it's supposed to be just in case I run into a problem while putting them in, which shouldn't be too hard. You have this bigger slot here, that one, and this one here. The throttle by wire should be the same length, or that's something that shouldn't need any lengthening. They also sell a cable extender for the display, but since I'm not moving this up, I'm leaving it in the same location. We're not going to need to extend that. That's in case if I do decide to go with the risers and the T-bars, which is what I originally thought I was going to do. But that's what we've got going. Let's start on this right away. Got all the wires disconnected. Each connector is different. There's no way that you could connect them in the wrong place. This is all the wiring that needs to come off the handlebars, all of this right here. So now what we're going to do is just unclamp it. This right here is the display. That stays connected. That's this one right here. So that one is going to stay. I mean, if you want to remove it, you can. Just that way you could get it away, get it off there. So what we need to do next is we're going to disconnect the controls here. This one and this one right here. The throttle's going to stay in place. Okay, taking this off is very easy. These right here are T27s, these two, and these right here are T25s. Remove this. This releases the whole brake lever assembly. And this one here, and there's one on the bottom down here, that'll release the switch plate. Now you do have to undo your mirror bolt here, or nut or screw, whatever you want to call it, so you could remove this from your handle. Otherwise the wires are going to stay on there. So just like that right there. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here you could see I dropped the whole master cylinder assembly. There's a zip tie right here on the bar, so that just drops with the handle. This is the whole switch assembly here. That has to come all out in one piece. And this is your throttle by wire, which you have to be very careful when you slide that one out. So let's go ahead and undo the 4 screws here, and we'll take the handlebars off. Okay, I did take the display off. It's easier. There's the connect right there. It's easier just to take it off than to leave it dangling here. And all you got to do now is just pull the handlebars to make sure you don't damage any of the wire connectors while you're pulling your handlebars. So I'm going to drop the camera and go from here. This is where patience comes into play. I'm going to have to pull all these wires here very carefully. All of this, run them out here and feed them in there. First I'm going to take them off these handlebars. Then I'm going to figure out a way to feed them. There's a couple ways I've been told how to do it. But I think it should be easier. These bars are going to look pretty good on it. Let's try them on here. I think it's going to be good. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and put these wires on. Okay, got all the wires off the old handlebars. Now, the fun part begins. Try to figure out how we're going to do this. So it shouldn't be too hard. I've talked to a couple people about it, and they seem to say that these are pretty easy to do. So we're going to give it a crack, see what happens. Well, I got the wiring done. Actually, it was quite a challenge, but it was able to do it. I got a piece of twine, that twine right there with some nuts, and that's how I guided them through. I used some of that wiring gel, threw some gel in there in the wires. I mean, it was a little struggle going around this corner here, these pointed corners, but we got it done. Let's put the handlebars on, see what they look like. All right, putting the connectors back in should be very easy, because there's no way you could put the wrong connector or the connector in the wrong position. There's just, you can't. They're marked. The only one that you might have an issue with would be the right side turn signal if you connect it on the wrong position, because they are both the same color. But if that happens, just switch them around, you'll be fine. Let's get this done. All right, got all the wires in, connected, put that insulator cover on there. Next step is putting all of this controls back on, and hopefully the bike starts. Okay, boys and girls, here it is, it's done. I didn't film everything, tightening up the bolts, getting all these tightened, adjusting where these need to be. I did put some R&S grips on it. I have to say that these handlebars, they look good. They feel better than the other ones. Here's what it looks like. It's all wrapped up really nice. All right. You can see the display there working okay. All right, there. Let me fire it up real quick. anyway, what did happen that concerned me for a little bit, I did get the check engine light on. I checked the codes. It had to do something with the right side turn signal clip. I removed all the connectors, connected them back in. It was working fine even before I realized the engine code was on. I checked the status of the other code. ECM was good, and whatever BCM stand for, I don't know what that is, but I went ahead and cleared the codes. It starts, it's fine. I mean, I probably, when you disconnect all your connectors down here, you get a fault code on there, but they're easy to troubleshoot. It's not really hard. It's actually a very simple process. Assuming that you have a code, you press your selector switch right here. You press it on, and that'll bring your miles per hour and the clock. And what you do is you turn your bike on. It's going to cycle, and it'll say diagnostics. And if you flip the switch one more time, it goes into your ECM. You see there's an N, that means no code. BCM, no code. Speedo, and it goes back to ECM. I did have a Y right here, and that was that turn signal code, and I verified it. So I went ahead and cleared it. In order to clear a code, let's say you do have a code right there. Let me shut it off again. Turn it on again. Let's try that. Okay. Assuming you do have a code, that's going to come up right now here real quick. Go in diagnostics. Let's say you have a code there on BCM. You would click on it one time, and it'll go to that code. Let's say that's the code there. You just keep the button pressed, and it'll say clear down here. You say clear, you click it again, and it'll clear that code. Shut your unit off, come back on, the engine light will shut off, and of course when you start the bike, the engine light will, that's when it will go off. Let's try that right now. So that's a quick easy steps to, just in case you run into that situation with your codes bringing up. But I mean, there's a lot of information on that on YouTube. You could find out. I just thought I'd throw that in there, just in case you do this job on your bike. It is doable. It is hard to get through these corners here with these type of bars. It is really hard. It took me at least a couple hours. Well, a little more than 2 hours to just run all the wires. I did have to disconnect 2 of the clips on the wiring harness. I mean, the connector was a little bit big. It was hard to get it through here. This side is the hardest, the right side rather. It's got, you have your throttle by wire, you have your turn signals, you have your start. I mean, everything is right here. This one only has 2 wires. Your low and high beam and your selector switch, horn, and then all of these are in 2 sets of wires only. But it was, for what it is, it's an easy job. It's an easy job to do. T25 and T27 down here. I think it's a 3/16 Allen head wrench, 9/16, and a 3/8 Allen wrench. Get a piece of block, piece of wood. Put this under your tank right here to lift it up. That'll give you access to go in there and get what you need done. Get it done. Alrighty guys, well thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think. And hopefully you can comment. Let me know what you think of this bike. Have a good weekend. Ride safe. See you soon.